Okay,
Oh my God.
I'd like to call this meeting of the Board of Education to order. Please rise for the pledge led by Mrs. Tenson.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Item B, adoption and approval of the agenda. There were a couple of consent items that I wanted to pull. Under Administration and Human Resources, item 1, and hold, not pull. Hold. And under Business Services, 5, 6, and 7, we'll just discuss as one. Did anybody else have anything?
Well, I'm sorry, do you want to discuss them as one or put them as hold items?
Hold and discuss them as one. Just
5,
to
6,
comment.
and 7 will be one motion,
One
but
motion.
not part of the consent.
Right.
So moved. With adjustments or changes made?
Second. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Item C, presentations. Jane Escobedo, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, will present the Petaluma City Schools District 2011-12 DLAC report.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight we're going to do a paper point. Old style report on paper.
Great.
Tonight our report is about the DLAC. The DLAC is the District English Language Advisory Council. So this is a body that is made up of parents of English language learners in the district. They represent every school in the district. And then we also have visitors that are teachers, sometimes administrators, other community members, that kind of thing, who come to the DLAC and discuss important matters. They have several jobs, and the jobs are highlighted up at the top of your page there, underneath advising the school board and administration on the following.
Wait.
We have a letter. Is that what we're looking at?
Highlighted.
Right here.
Just the list?
She's saying highlight right here, the bullet point.
The bullet points,
Bullet
yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Sorry.
Very good. Just
You
making
gotta
sure.
walk us through this.
Yeah.
It's a paper point.
Bulleted.
The bulleted list,
Oh, thank you.
highlighted in the middle of the page.
Uh-huh.
So quickly, the DLAC has responsibility around advising the board and administration of the district master plan, which is our plan for serving English language learners in the district. And that is built upon the single school plans from the schools. They have the responsibility administration of a district-wide needs assessment that we conduct every fall around the test scores and other information that we gather regarding English language learners. The establishment of the district goals and objectives for the EL program. A plan to make sure that we're in compliance, and we do this in collaboration with our Human Resources Department. And this is that everyone has CLADs, B-CLADs, and meet the highly qualified teacher requirements under NCLB. The administration of the annual language census, that is done every March, where we count how many EL students we have in the district and in each school. And then we report also on the students who are reclassified, the requirements for reclassification and the procedures for reclassification, and then any written notifications regarding EL programming that go out to the parents. That's kind of their responsibility. The ELAC actually is a broad-based consortium of folks, and they have they just discuss a lot of issues, a lot of different kinds of issues that you're going to see as I get into this report. So first of all, the ELAC would really like to thank all the teachers and site representatives that have been attending their meetings. We've had really good attendance for the last year, and we've been able to, because of that excellent attendance, we've been able to get a lot of really good input from our DLAC. They'd also like to thank the board and administration for sending 10 parents to the Parent Leadership Institute that takes place at the Sonoma County Office of Ed every year in Spanish. So there's lots of good information that they get there. They get to meet other parents from other places, find out what other school districts are doing in their English language learner programs. They're grateful that every single teacher in Petaluma City Schools has a CLAD, and that most of our teachers, this says every, but it's most of our teachers and all of our instructional assistants meet the requirements for NCLB, for No Child Left Behind. Some of their suggestions is they would like to have more bilingual, bicultural classified personnel at school staffs, at schools with high numbers of English language learners. We've done some different things this year around that. We've hired a bilingual resource teacher, and we have completed that hiring. We have a bilingual resource teacher on every single elementary campus, either part or full-time, which is increasing the sheer number of personnel that we have who can speak Spanish and can interact with our English language learner population. In addition to that, we've increased a time for a bilingual clerk typist on every single elementary campus. On our secondary campuses, we are now going to have a bilingual, biliterate community liaison coordinator. I keep calling it a liaison, and it's coordinator. So that there are increased resources in every single school office that can interact with Spanish-speaking parents. We're kind of lucky in Petaluma because our major language group is Spanish, and we don't have a lot of diversity among languages, so that we're not really faced with Vietnamese and Laotian and Creole and all the other languages that a lot of other places, a lot of other school districts are dealing with multiple languages and have personnel in place for all these multiple languages. The other thing that we are doing is we are creating a pool of translators that will be available to schools to support translation of school documents and that kind of thing. And you can see that in the next bullet where our parents are requesting a better communication system between parents of English language learners and their schools so that they're better informed. So we really have begun to kind of morph the program so that we are more responsive to what our DLAC parents are saying. The next bullet talks about they want to make sure that parents of English language learners are informed as we make program changes so that they feel like they can really analyze and support the decisions that are made at the district level. This year, as you know, or this past year in 11-12, we did make some program changes. We had 2 meetings talking about those changes with our DLAC parents. Unfortunately, we had 2 completely different set of parents at those 2 meetings, so it felt like the information was new each time. So that's a little difficult. And finally, they're making a suggestion, and we've had many discussions about this at the DLAC. They're making the suggestion that we might want to consider closing the campuses at our high schools. They are particularly concerned about the time that happens between a child leaving a campus or not coming back to a campus, not returning to their next period after the lunch period, and the time that a phone call happens. They're concerned that children can get into mischief in between those times. They are a lively group of people. I invite you to come. We have 4 DLAC meetings a year, and I'll let you know when those meetings are. They are a lively group, and they are very interested and concerned about their students and very much wanting to be involved in the district as a whole, and in particular in the education of their English language learning students. Okay? Questions?
I have a couple.
Sure.
I noticed that in our board letter, I appreciate the summary of the status of the classified layoffs that we had from the spring, where we had a big meeting here because we wanted to revamp, and that quite a number have been recalled. Obviously, some of them with fewer hours, just because of the budget cuts. But how do you feel this revised program sets up?
But I'm feeling really encouraged about the revised program. We actually had a meeting, I had a meeting on last Friday with our five new bilingual resource teachers. That was just to have experts who are, and these people are experts. They are all fluent in Spanish. They have, each one of them has taught in a dual language program. Each one of them has taught in an ELD program. They come with a variety of backgrounds from a variety of places, from one of our very own teachers from Petaluma to somebody from Point Arena to a PhD candidate from New Mexico. So we've got a diverse group. They're very knowledgeable and really ready, energetic and ready to set on this new course and to help us develop a program that is more responsive to our English language learners. I know our secondary schools have been recruiting and interviewing for their community coordinators, and there's some excitement around that position. So I'm feeling pretty good. We've got a ways to go. We have to set program goals and objectives, which the bilingual resource teachers and I will be doing Thursday afternoon.
Okay.
And we have some curriculum development to work on.
Okay. And will our new principal from McKinley be a part of the DLAC?
He will be a part of the DLAC. I'm sure he'll be a part of the DLAC, as will our new principal from Pengrove, who has already expressed an interest in being a part of the DLAC. So we've got a new energy going on. So.
Well, it's exciting to hear because I've been to a couple of the DLACs over the years, and or the local, what's it called?
ELAC
at each of the schools, and it's important to encourage that involvement.
Absolutely.
And also improve the communication, because whenever there were issues, and that's what I went to address, it was always communication related.
It usually is in this population communication related, because sometimes pieces of paper don't get translated, phone calls don't get made, that kind of thing. And there can be confusion. It can lead to confusion.
Right. Well, whatever we can do to improve.
Right.
Support that. Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, approval of the minutes of July 24th, 2012.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Do I have any speaker cards? No?
No.
No. Okay, I will not read that then. Item F, report on activities and correspondence of school board members. I attended the back-to-school night at Pengrove, and things are pretty quiet right now. Anything else did anybody go to the music festival?
No.
I didn't get a chance to go to that either, but it was a success, I hear. Actually, at the band parent meeting last night. But we have a lot of activities coming up in the coming month. So a lot of back to schools and such.
This may be a point in regards to correspondence for the board to note that the two incumbents have filed a paper to run for election, and there is no opposition, so there won't be an election. The two incumbents will be continuing on, so I appreciate.
Yes, I got the email from the city clerk on Friday, and I forgot that was part of my correspondence I wanted to share. So, yes.
So Troy and Mary will be continuing in their volunteer service at Petaluma City Schools, and we appreciate considerably. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I hope the campaign manager got the checks up front.
Yeah. So thanks for this continued support of the community. All right, item G, the approval of the consent agenda by consolidated motion.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And under Administration and Human Resources, we held item 1, the employment report. Recommended motion that the employment report be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Yes, and I would just like to invite the principal of Petaluma High School to come up, Mr. Sturrick, to introduce an outstanding new member of our management team. Mr. Stewart.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have a lot to say because I was going to actually ask Debbie to say a snippet about herself too. Debbie Richardson comes most recently from Pioneer High School in San Jose, and she brings a wealth of experience to our campus. And I've already been, I wasn't shocked by this, but I'm really impressed with the way she's interacting with the staff members who are gradually filtering back into campus in the last week, and the way she's working with kids, a few kids who've been dropping in here and there. So I think we definitely made the right choice, and I'm confident and happy to introduce you to Debbie Richardson. Come on up, Debbie. I'm putting you on the spot here, but just a minute or so about who you are, just so that they get a chance to get to know who you are.
Oh, I have a few prepared remarks. So first of all, I want to express my appreciation for the opportunity to be here at Petaluma Schools. I'm thrilled to be here. My husband and I made a decision that we had enough time for one more adventure in our lives, and so we decided let's make a move and try to find a place to settle for the long haul. And so we came to visit Petaluma. I met Bennett at a WASC visit, Bennett Holly, another assistant principal, and we had a wonderful time talking about Petaluma. So it's just worked out really well for me, and I'm very happy to be here. My husband is here with me. My children, I have one that lives in China, and one still in college, unbelievably, in Oregon, and another living in San Jose. So we're on our own here, and I have plenty of time to go to functions. My husband is a big sports fan, and so we are in the habit of attending many functions at school, so we'll continue with that. We have a little background in music. All of my children are involved in music, so I'm anxious to see the marching band. They've been practicing on campus, so that gets the blood pumping. And I'm just excited for the kids to come back, and I just really appreciate how welcoming and lovely everyone has been, so thank you very much for the opportunity.
Wonderful. Well, welcome. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that it's particularly busy for school not starting till next week, that the activities at Petaluma High are incredible with the band and then all the tryouts, and it's busy. So
Football camp for a weekend.
right. So welcome. So we have to vote on that. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so it's official now. Thank you. Okay, under business services, I wanted to just briefly discuss items 5, 6, and 7.
Item number 2 is a hold.
Mine says consent. Oh, I'm sorry, I already moved to business. I'm sorry. Under administration and human resources. Resolution 121302, recommended motion that Resolution 121302 of the Board of Education of the Petaluma City Elementary and Joint Union High School Districts eliminating 1 8-hour per day lead community entrepreneur position effective August 15th, 2012 be adopted.
So moved.
Second.
Yes, it's actually the lead community entrepreneur resigned, and due to our budget situation, we've decided to eliminate that position and not refill it.
Okay.
So that's the reason for this.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now on to business services. Items 5, 6, and 7 are held. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
These are 3, do I need to read them all?
No,
Steve,
you
okay.
can just speak to
Okay, the renewal authorizations for training programs with our, let's see, the Northern California Shop Iron Works Apprenticeship and Training Program, Local 790, with the Bay Area County's Roofing Industry Apprenticeship Training Trust, and the California Tooling and Machining Apprenticeship Association. And the reason I wanted to just briefly discuss them was to point out to the community that this is an important part of the programs that we want to be able to provide to our students and the connections with the community. And just to keep that information out there so that we can continue to grow the connections that our students have with potential employers and career opportunities. So that was the main reason I wanted to hold it. Did anybody else want to speak on that?
It's a great reason to hold it.
Okay.
I think people understand it's all about partnerships and working together smart, and we keep talking about that. That's what this is.
That's what it is.
And also offering our students other choices,
Right.
that there are other choices available, and that's important for the community to know also.
Mhm. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. There are several information items if anybody wishes to discuss. And that's it on regular business. Future business, that we have a list of back-to-school nights and other activities to attend, starting, well, the first day of school is next Wednesday, August 22nd. And we had no closed session, so that's it.
Might be a record.
That might be a record. So we will adjourn this meeting for signing of papers of a routine nature. Oh, our next meeting is September 11th at 6 p.m. here in the boardroom. So thank you all for coming.